Avec nous, nos partenaires de IDG, Labi, how you doing, my brother? And Jackie is on the other side. He has been quite a while. I didn't hear from Jackie. Anyway, Labi, take it from there. Hello, Labi. Labi. I bet
hey,
you.
Lodge, how you doing?
yes, I'm here.
How you doing, Jackie? I was just saying, we didn't hear from Jackie for quite a while now. When I don't hear from Jackie for a week, it's like it looks like a month I didn't hear from him.
That's true. Sorry about that.
So
I didn't know I was muted.
So good.
But good evening, everyone. I think, yes, Jackie been busy. We all been busy lately. There's a lot going on, mini campaign going on, and we try and actually to, deliver the message to all our members and, reaching out to them, helping them with, the essential and everything that they need. But before I start, I'm going to let Jackie. Jackie, why did you miss the last show? What's going on?
Hey, man, things happen. Like, for example, I fell asleep last time. But I really do miss you guys. I miss all the drivers out there. I miss being on the radio show.
That's what's up.
Well, thank you. We didn't miss you for much. I mean, we've been doing this for a very long time right now.
Sure.
And I think it's safe to say that IDG become really a strong organization. And that's with the support and the help of all the drivers that really care about the work that they do, and they want to protect themselves and they want to protect the others. And we created really that nice platform that give the space to the drivers and have them actually understand the industry more, understanding the changes, understanding the political side of it, technical side, political side, education wise, and that's very important for everyone to actually have a place as such to be in their lives of work. Do we have Malik or we don't? I think Malik, Malik join? Malik there?
Malik's always here, brother.
Malik is always there. Good to hear your voice, brother. Do you have any words? Of course, you always have words to say, but I just want to flag this out there. Drivers who are actually listening to us tonight, if you don't know Malik and Malik eagerness, really the work that he doesn't do it just because it's work, but he do it because he really wants things to change. And he do it from his heart. The time that we all sacrifice, I don't want to give credit only to Malik, but everybody at IDG, from staff to management, everyone is really given extra time. It's not a regular job. It's something that we love to do, and it's something that we want to have everyone around us happy, protected, satisfied, and most of all, safe. Many, give us a couple of words before I jump to the topic of tonight, which is going to be around safety and protection. Sorry about the noise of the ambulance. Speaking of safety, ambulance is right here. But yeah, go ahead, Malik.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, how are you feeling today? How are you today?
I'm good. Everything's good. Thanks, God. And when it comes to safety, the other day I did a little session with the news reporter, and I told her everything about it. And, these carjackings, they're up high, like drivers getting robbed and everything. And, sometimes we resist. And what happens is accidentally there's consequences to it. And so then we end up regretting those consequences. I just want to say, God forbid it happens to anyone, but, God forbid if you're in that place, just don't resist. Let them have what they want. Give them what they ask for.
Yeah.
At least there's a tomorrow, So, yeah, that's all I'm going to say right now about this. It's like a sensitive topic for me. So,
Yeah. One thing that is happening within the community, and like you mentioned, there is an outreach that we do every Wednesday in LaGuardia, and we talk about safety, and we talk about some drivers that they just join and they're new drivers, and don't be afraid of the people that you are giving service to. There is a way how to stop violence and how to engage people, but your priority is to be safe. So IDG, and for years now, has been campaigning to prevent violence against drivers. But the problem is that it has been done by the TLC and also the app company. We demand many safety measures to be taken immediately. Yes, some of them were implemented by the TLC and city agency, but again, it's still there is other measures that need to be taken. And Jackie will list some of those measures that need to be listed. Jackie, go ahead with the Zero Violence campaign.
So yeah. The right to the for hire vehicle zero violence campaign. Safety is very important for the drivers, right? Drivers now, what happens is that we have a very hard place to find parking. I'm not just talking about like parking a car in middle of the really like crowded neighborhoods, but I'm talking about parking or waiting there for a rider to come and to drop off safely. And it's not the safety of the matter of that. And what I mean by that is that if we were to drop off a passenger in, let's say, Manhattan, right? What is a safe place to drop off? If you drop off in the bus lane, what would happen? What would we get? We would get a bus lane ticket. If we drop off on the left side a passenger, man, they don't care what happens to our car. They just open the door, and next thing you know, maybe the cyclist. A cyclist, they might come out and just hit the car and hit the door, and you're like, oh shoot, what's gonna happen? Well, there's no insurance on the cyclist, so we have to take the full effect of it. And if the riders were to report it to the app-based companies and say, oh yeah, you were involved in the accident. Well, you're the one that caused the accident, and you want to report that? And why did they do that? They want a free ride. That is a lot of BS that we have in our industry. And all that stuff, it's really crazy out there, guys. Just be careful. But, of course, we also want to know what's the rider's real name, right? I'm gonna give you guys a little story. So about a week ago, I had a driver come in. He told me, he's like, oh, I've been assaulted by a rider. This driver, it could have been avoided. But the thing is that he just wanted to make it a big deal, and then he got assaulted for that. What I'm trying to say is, guys, no matter what happened, keep in mind, our safety is number one. Yeah, the passenger banged the door on something. Well, take a picture, report it to the app-based company, and let them deal with it, right? Even though there's a little bit amount of money, but still, are you being assaulted at the end of that? No. That driver actually went. He actually got hit. He injured his knee and all that stuff from the rider. Now, the thing is that rider, it was not the rider that called the trip. It was the rider's friend that was sitting in the car. The rider left first, and then he was the second person to be dropped off. Is that right for the driver? No, that's messed up. So, we want rider's real name, and, we want to be able to have app-based companies to be held accountable in case of when these situations happen. These app-based companies, they tell us, yeah, you pick up the ride, drop them off, pick them up, and that is it. But no, our job is much more than that. We have to provide the safety for the riders. We have to provide the safety for ourselves, the pedestrians, the cyclists, everything. There's a lot of things that we have to look out for. And, the main thing, when we drive right now, how's our destination filter? It's not that great. Uber, they took away the best destination filter. And now we get like a 5-minute destination filter only when we're outside of the city. That is BS. We need that back, right? Due process. a lot of us, we get deactivated left and right. How are we going to solve that situation? We need real due process rights. And what I mean by that, a lot of writers, they come up with BS claims and say, oh, yeah, you were unsafe because you brake too hard. Well, you live, right? Well, you're safe, right? Well, we have to do that to avoid accidents from happening. And this is what writers don't see. They feel like, oh, you should be driving 20 miles per hour and be able to brake on time compared to say, oh, I'm late. Can you drive a little faster? Can you drive 40, 50 miles per hour in a local street? Hell no, we cannot do that. Why? Because the safety of ourselves is there. We depend on this to make a living. You know, we need real due process rights for this. We need real protection out there from the writers. Back to you, Larry.
Right. Thank you, Jackie. Malik, there was an incident that happened earlier. I don't think we will witness it. It was by the office. I think I just want to remind people there's a certain area in New York that they only have stop signs, right? So although there is a stop sign and you have the right of the way, you got to be careful, especially at nighttime. And a lot of area in New York, they have reckless people. Yeah, reckless people exist everywhere. I think that's a worldwide problem. But again, I think what is important right now is that as a professional driver, you need to take extra measure to stay safe. And as he told me earlier, the accident that he witnessed because of a stop sign really was really bad. And it was one of the commuters' fault. One driver has the stop sign, the other driver did not have the stop sign, and they end up T-boning each other. But it could be worse. So please, drivers, take extra measure. You see a stop sign, make sure that you stop. Count 5 seconds, from the time that you're starting to stop to the stop sign. Count 5 seconds. Check left, check for pedestrians, and then proceed. Malik, can you tell us your experience with the accident that you have and how that made you feel? I'm more interested in how the fear that you had and what, if you have to change it, what could you change?
Okay, so first, about that safety, right? I just want to put out there, TLC, they call themselves a government agency. Yet from IDG, we've asked the commissioner to put those, so-called peace officers in those shady areas where drivers aren't too safe, instead of just putting them in Times Square and Manhattan and having them sit on stop signs just to give out drivers tickets. We've asked them that. Nothing has changed. I think even those TLC officers, they don't want to even go into those shady areas. And we drivers, we have to risk our life over there. It's sad, We make everyone rich. We've made money for everyone except ourselves, just because everybody's just getting rich off of us, and that's messed up. Back to the accident though. Yeah, I got rear-ended close to JFK, and it was another TLC car. And he had passengers, I had a passenger in my car. And I got hit, my car hit the one in front of me, and then that one hit the one in front of me. So I don't know what the guy was doing or, why he was speeding. It was, standstill traffic. So, even till today, guys, I have this pain. The doctor, he said it straight up. He said, this pain's not going to go away. He said, my job is I got herniated discs. He said, my job is to fix your discs. But he said, there's no guarantee your pain's going to go away. So I didn't even go through those surgeries because I asked my brother-in-law, he also has herniated discs. I asked him, he got the surgeries done, and he said, I asked him, I was like, how are you doing? I was like, it's nothing. Nothing changed. So, and now can't drive full time anymore. It sucks. It's making, but it sucks. And every time, like, there's traffic, I'm always scared now, And
Right.
thanks to Jackie, sometimes he'll start driving, and I can rest on the side. And thanks to him, like, I can still do that 60-mile drive. But it's accidents, guys. They're not worth it. Just be aware. Don't just be aware of the one in front of you. Be aware of the one on your side, and your back, on your other side, and your back. Just, try to stay a distance away from her. It's just better that way. Don't accelerate. If someone cuts you off, that's it. You're never going to see them again. So don't just go out there, go in front of them, get angry, and, try to teach them a lesson. No, that's not how we should do this. If someone does it, it's okay. Just let them do it. Just keep your cool. The ego, don't let your ego, get you blinded. So, yeah. And I'll say it again, these accidents, they're not worth it at all. So please don't ever. I even had a rider. He opened the door. You know how TLC, they tell us to have the back doors unlocked at all times. So at a red light, the rider, he opened the door, the right side. Alongside it, a bus came and hit the bus hit the door, which busted the other door also. And that ended up costing me close to $2,000 to get fixed. I had to get it painted and everything. The doors, new doors. And the rider, he didn't have any money. They don't have any insurance. So he was a pedestrian, So
that's very bad.
all of that went out of my pocket. There was no one to, cover those losses. So please, before unlocking your doors, just check and let the rider know when it's safe to get out. Because we're the only ones. Like, we have to take care of ourselves and we have to take care of our others. This is how this job is. Just be safe out there. Back to you, Lord.
Well, thank you, Malik, for that's an eye opener, and like, again, there is don't ignore the small things as a driver. You should really be extra careful and measure everything. From the time that you pick up the passenger to the time that you drop them off. So be also, don't get distracted. Don't pay attention to the app too much. We have classes where we teach driver how to de-escalate situation. And if you want to join that program, you're welcome. Go to driversguild.org. That is drivers with an S. Guild, GUILD.org. There's a lot of information over there on the website. I want to talk about, again, a little bit about the FHV zero violence. We call it FHV zero violence, driver safety mostly. And Jackie mentioned on some of the topic of it, but I'm going to add to the zero aggression, free dash cam for drivers. Here's one thing. I like the word free dash cam, but again, I want to give you this message. Dash cam save a lot of drivers financially, and also people behave. When you have a dash cam in your car, and people, they see it, they see that they're going to be recorded, they do behave. So get yourself a dash cam. I'm happy to install it for you. Of course, we want you to be a member, so sign up and become a member. We can help you with more things that you can imagine. But I'm willing to, and the team also willing to help drivers install. If you think it's too expensive to install it, we do it for you. And if you need help with the dash cam, which one to buy and where to buy it, I'm just saying it flat. Right now, we're not affiliated with any city agency that gives free cameras. Sometimes we may have programs that we actually ask, those agencies to provide free camera, but we're working on that. But invest in one right now because the more you wait, things can happen, and we want you to be ready. Right to refuse disruptive riders. There is a class that I teach how to deal with that, and it's every Thursday from 10 to 12, so you're welcome to come to that class. And the due process. I'm going to let Jackie talk about due process and how due process works on the activation. Jackie, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Can you say that one more time, man?
The due process on the activation, how that one works.
So, if we win like collective bargaining, right, then through that way, we can actually force the app-based companies and, hey, sit down with me right now and talk to me. Hey, how do we resolve this issue? How do we approach this and see what we can do next? Right? And the reason why I say that is because then we can actually have the app companies sit down and say, well, my friend here got deactivated. Not my friend, but this driver here got deactivated for safety purposes. And then we could say, can you define those safety purposes? It's things like that. We can talk to the app company, and we could say, well, listen, in New York City, we have to be professionals. We have a lot of things out there that we have to watch out for. So sometimes a hard break is a safety thing that we have to do, right? It's things like that could help us when we win collective bargaining. And that is what due process means. It means that you have a better chance of sitting at the table and say, hey, what's going to happen next? Can we discuss this? Not can we discuss this case? We will discuss this case. It's things like that's going to push this a lot further. That's going to help this, fix this industry up a lot. A lot of times writers, they give us a lot of BS statements, BS complaints, and it's going to cause a lot of trouble for us. And that is what's going to change, right? So right now, like for example, during Uber hearings, what happens during that time? There's American Arbitration Association. There's IDG is going to be there. Uber is going to be there. 3 panel of judges and all that stuff. All that stuff, and then the 3 panel of judges, they're the ones that's going to say, hey, is this driver going to get back on or not? But it's all on them. So, that's the kind of thing that due process means. And we just got to make it a lot better. Now, IDG Legal. What is IDG Legal? Well, we want IDG Legal to be like a one-stop shop for all the legal needs for the drivers. If you have tickets, TLC summons, or TLC tickets, accidents, if you need help filing claims for Black Card Fund, if you have, immigration issues, even legal translations, we have people there for that. And we want that to be a stop for the drivers. And if we do not have that kind of legal service, we do have a general help service and the IDG Legal Department. Again, that's a separate department, but we will help you get connected to those departments. So, idglegal.org. And if you visit idglegal.org, you can see the phone number on the top right section of the screen. And now, back to you, Larby.
Right, Jackie, thank you so much for that information. I just want to keep the last 4 minutes to talk about RTB and what RTB means. Let me start quickly with Malik. Malik, what right to bargain bill means to you as a driver?
Right to bargain for me as a driver, it means finally getting the power to be what Uber said we would be, even though they lied. Uber is a big liar. Lyft is a big liar. So right to bargain, straight up, it means to be like, my own boss, have my own benefits and the benefits I want, still have the flexibility. And, as an independent contractor, like, we want our better rates, We want what's right for us. But at the same time, we have to respect community guidelines. But those guidelines, they will be broken into. Right to bargain means we will do what's better for us. And the awesome part is I won't have to be an employee, so there's no only 30 hours and getting paid like $400 a week. No. I can't do that. The right to bargain for me means everything. That's my future life, and my livelihood depends on it. You know? It's a union that we want, we will get. I'm not going to let anyone stop me from getting it.
Yeah.
Over.
Yep.
Now.
Yes. Thank you, Malik. So there is a difference, of course, between being independent and being a W worker. You know, when you are a worker that is, you know, not bound by the time, you know, nor the, you know, the part of the task that you have to perform certain duties. Right now, drivers have only one focus: it's to pick up people from point A and drop them on point B. Period. But we want to create this as a happy medium for all drivers. So when you have the flexibility and when you have the time, you know, to control your work, you know, and that's how you become happy. So I know I'm running out of time. Jackie, say a quick thank you. Thank you, Malik, and we see you on the next Saturday. We're going to talk more about RTB, and that would be the next topic. So stay tuned next Saturday. Good night, everyone. Thank you, Jackie. Last word.
Thank you, everybody, for listening, and, you know, be safe out there, and, you know, drive safely. Take care.
There you go. Be safe, be happy, and most of all, be IDG. Thank you, everyone. Good night. Back to you, Lush.
Good night. Good night.
Don't let the POC cops catch you.
Thank you again, guys. Keep up the good work. All right, now. All right, so that's IDG doing a great job as usual, guys. Stay with us, with you.